Oh, hello. Welcome to Recollections of Battle, a series that I hope will become weekly on my channel. This is where, well, it's kind of like a battle report, but filtered through my feeble thinking meat. Okay? I'm going to try and remember what happened in yesterday's friendly kitchen table game between me and my regular play opponent, Zimbad. Yep, we play every week, and this is me trying to remember what happened in that game. You'll understand the format as we go through it. I've got my trusty phone here because I've been taking little reference pictures to myself through the game to try and jog the noggin. Let's have a little look at what was going on. So, Zimbad was playing his Tempestus Aquilons, which you can see in the top of the picture here. These are lovingly converted. I'm not sure what his head cannon is for them, because they're not goblins. They've got pink skin. They kind of look like Jawas from Star Wars, but of course that doesn't exist in the 41st millennium. But they're little weird dudes in brown cloaks riding multicoloured squigs. Meanwhile, I was playing my Wrecka crew. Now, long-term followers of the channel will know that right now I only have the fighting half of the Wrecka crew. I've got no shooty boys. The shooty guys are on the painting table, just off camera here. As soon as they're ready to go and painted, I'll be adding them into my roster. But I don't like to play with unpainted miniatures. It's just a personal thing. If you play with unpainted miniatures, that's fine. I'm not judging you. So what we're going to do is we're going to press here. Yep. And you can see this is the slide that we're going to spend the majority of the video on. So if you're of a certain age, you will remember old White Dwarf bat reps, right? And the sort of the maps and the keys and the circles and arrows and how that all works. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and recreate the battle on this map. So with a bit of luck, I'll be able to move things around and show you what's going on. It's not going to be first I activated and did this, and first he activated and did that. It's going to be the general gist. So you've got the map we're playing. We're playing on Killzone Vulcus. We're playing Power Surge. And I reveal straight away, I was playing the Security Tac Op. And Zimbad was playing I was playing the Secure Center Tac Op. Read the little text, not the big text, Phil. And Zimbad was playing the Confirm Kill Tac Op. As it happens, we'd both taken our critical objective was the Tac Op. So turning point 1 was largely a staging turn. I've already done part of Zimbad's turning point 1. So just to explain the key here, what we've got is up here. I give him a little wiggle. Okay. This is the marksman. You can see him moving on your screen there. There's the marksman. Okay. Then here, just on the left of your screen here, we've got the drop marker. There he is. Okay. In the building, on the map labelled A, you got 3 troopers more or less in a row, and then you've got the other drop marker up there on the vantage point. Now, obviously the positions aren't quite exact, and you'll notice that the Aquilons have moved forwards. I've already accounted for their pre-game dashes. I'm pretty sure Zimbad took the scouting option to dash and got his marksman up onto the vantage point, and the troopers get a free dash as well. So that's what's happened there. In terms of my scouting option, I never know what to take with Wrecka Crew, because I find that I don't often want to dash, because that would just put me out of position, and yeah, I just don't often find it useful, because it's not like I think the classic use for a dash in Vulcus anyway is to get onto a vantage point like Zimbad's done with his marksman, but because I'm not taking anyone who shoots, there was no real impetus to try and get up onto that vantage point. I don't think Wreckers have any ploys that you want to use pre-game in Turning Point 1. Like, I never use any of my ploys in Turning Point 1 anyway. So I took equipment. So I had a portable barricade. The portable barricade, I'm just going to quickly draw on. It's not that relevant, but it's that blue square just there. In terms of the equipment, I had the engine oil to ignore injured. I had the glyphs, so I could have War for free one turn, and then free every other turn as long as I had Wrecka points in stock. And then I took smoke grenades, 2 of them, and crack grenades, 2 of them. Zimbad took crack grenades, and a bunch of stuff that I don't remember, but none of it was placed terrain. Didn't think any placed terrain at all. So, popping into turning point 1, essentially, what happened was like this. So, my, down here, I've got my, the fighters, okay, the ones that can break through terrain. So I had a fighter break through, make a little door there. Didn't really need to, but you know. And then I just staged up here. And then I had this second fighter came along here, made a door and staged up here. Okay. And then my knob just came through the door and staged up here. So I'm just moving my Orkies up behind this piece of terrain. Bomb Squig was a little boulder. Moved and dashed through the second door in the piece of terrain, and got a little bit further up the field just there, just to try and exert some pressure. Okay, and over on the other flank, this bomb squig I sent round here. Okay, the demolisher. Well, first of all, the fighter made a door and then wound up approximately here. Okay. The crusher went up and was able to move and dash and hang out against this wall. And the demolisher, I thought I had this really cool idea of sticking him behind the portable barricade. So that was basically my plan, turning point 1. Unfortunately for me, Zimbad had a plan as well. So he's got his marksman, which I've already pointed out to you, up on the vantage point, labelled D on your map. That he'd moved up there with a pre-game scouting phase. He's got his 2 drop markers that are outlined in orange, and he's got 3 troopers knocking around as well. Now, in terms of his troopers, I know that two troopers essentially made their way to the door here. Okay, the third trooper. Ooh, that's the entire map, Phil. The third trooper, you know, I lost track of him for a moment. We're going to imagine that he was just there as well. Okay. And then he brought down from orbit, because he has to bring 2 things down from orbit. He brought his sentry with a grenade launcher. Now, this is going to get complicated with the levels. The troopers are on the bottom level, behind the door. The sentry, I'll just pop him down there. Okay. The sentry is actually, like, pretty well in the window. Okay. And then he also brought down, I'm going to suggest it was the, no, you know what? This third trooper, that I couldn't remember where it was, I think he's back here. Came down off this drop marker, and I think it's the Tempestus that I'd momentarily lost track of, who is knocking around back here. Is that right? The Tempestus popped out at some point. Yeah, the Tempestus knocking around back here. Oops. I think he was initially deployed. Something like that. And then in orbit, we've still got the combat, the prosecutor, the one that can drop down in close combat. We've got the gunner, we've got the grenadier, and we've got the melter gun still in orbit turn 1. Now, unfortunately, the other thing that happened in turn 1, apart from the nice pleasant staging that I was expecting, this fellow, this lovely demolisher here, minding his own business. Of course, the pervasive thing here is light cover. So he was shot by both the sentry turret with a grenade and the marksman, who I didn't think there was going to be a shot. But then Zimbad's like, yeah, no, there totally is. I can see him. So I'm like, okay, fair enough. And so I actually lost my demolisher in turning point 1, because despite the fact that you had a mighty 3-up save, he would have been better just following the crusher and hiding behind the heavy terrain on conceal. Would have been by far the more sensible thing to do. But I had this, and it was entirely born of the fact that I was frustrated that I couldn't think of a useful scouting option, and I tried to do something clever with the portable barricade that it turned out was really stupid and dumb. So, I don't recommend that. That's the second time I've tried to use the portable barricade. I tried to use it once at the tournament, and it steered me. It steered me extremely wrong, right? I think there was also some shooting that happened targeting the squigs. My belief, I'm just trying to confirm that by looking at the pictures. My belief is that the squiggly digglies, yeah, I think this squig was also effectively killed by, I don't know, was it the leader? He looks like he was too far away. Was it because he only has a pistol, right? But it just must have been. So I also lost this left-hand bomb squig. The right-hand bomb squig copped some shots, but was miraculously unscathed. So yeah, that was my first turn, and it wasn't looking great for me, essentially. I was already feeling a bit kind of like, oh, I've already lost it all. Like the bomb squigs, no, never mind. I do play a little bit foolishly with the bomb squigs, but I'd already lost an orc, and so I was feeling the pain from that a little bit, right? So then it goes into the next turning point, okay, and I think I won the initiative. So I had the initiative. Zimbad had obviously designated the objective in his deployment zone as the surged objective that he merely needed to capture and then stand on, right? And so my big play for this turn really was that the fighter went up here and made a hole for the crusher, and the crusher came out here, and Hatchway fought against both of these troopers, right? And my belief and my recollection is that he was able to kill both of the troopers. So that, because I used the CP to fight twice, right? So that was pretty cool. But he got shot by, I think it was probably the grenade launcher, because obviously he didn't have a spare CP to pop smoke or anything like that, because he'd fought twice, and that took him down to 7 wounds. And then the close combat Scion hot dropped, because obviously this marker has moved up, the drop marker. This drop marker's gone away, and the combat Scion hot drops in and finishes off the crusher, sadly, right? Again, this is probably out of sequence as to how it actually happened, but it's the cool bits, and it's my recollection. That's what we signed up for, boys and girls. So over on the other flank, my orcs are feeling pretty pinned down by the presence of this marksman, who's not yet activated. So I'm really not sure. Like, I don't want to rush out and try and do things too much. Okay, so I start to bring my guys up. Just up here like this, right, to kind of shelter behind here. So I think this fighter goes up here, and I'm pretty sure that Knob goes up here on the ground floor, and then I tried to send my bomb squig. Oh no, that's the entire map again, Phil, come on. I tried to send my bomb squig over to here, telling me like, well, you've got a drop marker there. If you bring 2 people down, if you shoot the bomb squig, he can explode and potentially hurt you. But then all that happened is he brought down his. Let's grab the gunfighter. The gunfighter pops down here. 3 inches from the drop marker is quite far, comfortably outside the 1 or even 2 inches that I could have exploded the bomb squig. And he takes out the bomb squig with the gunfighter easily. So that ends the squig. I'm not that broken up by the loss of a squig because it's only a squig. And then at some point I moved this remaining guy. I'm really not sure what I'm doing with him. I don't want to put him up here because I feel like that's going to give a shot to Zimbad's sniper. So he comes across through into here and just tucks inside the door there, so that I've got my orcs kind of better distributed, two on each flank. Yeah, and I'm struggling to work out how I can bring the pain. You know, bring my orcs to bear. It's getting difficult, and that's pretty well turning point 1. Turning point 2. I feel like Zimbad must have brought down the rest of his guys, right, in turning point 2, because that's what you have to do, and I'm desperately trying to recall and work out where they ended up. But my memory and the photographs involved have abandoned me. Ah, yeah, I remember now. His leader comes down here like this, just sort of hangs out there. There's some vague attempting at pot-shotting of the people in here that happens. His melter, his grenadier pops out here and is able to come. No, his grenadier pops onto here and stays in cover right from the drop marker, and I'm pretty sure his melter gun pops onto here as well and stays in cover from the drop marker. Yeah, that's the long and the short of it. So we've got a huge concentration of Tempestus Aquilons over on the left-hand side. There's only 4 orcs left on the field, guys. And I've killed 2 troopers, but that's not really very much. So, in terms of scoring at the end of turning point 2, we both scored 2 on the primary. No, Zimbad scored 2 because he'd both rerouted power and held the objective he'd rerouted the power on. And I scored 1 because I was controlling more objectives than Zimbad. In terms of my secure centre, I scored 1 VP because my Knob and Fighter are on the centre line, and Zimbad only had either 1 or no models actually physically touched the centre line, and he was quite kind of surprised to recall that you have to be actually touching the centre line and not simply something more sensible like within an inch of the centre line or within 2, because you can see the quite a lot of guys clustered in generically at the centre. But needless to say, he you know, he fooled me once. He made a mistake once. Zimbad scored 2 on confirmed kill. I don't remember exactly the ins and outs of that, but he definitely did. He did score the 2 on confirmed kill. So now we head into turning point 3, and my belief is that Zimbad had the initiative. So Zimbad comes along and grabs his grenadier here, right? And the grenadier comes down and lobs a melter gun at the fighter here, who survives on a single wound. But Zimbad's got his grenadier on the objective. My Knob pops out. Let me find the actual sort of vague visual reference of where he actually got to. Yeah, my Knob kind of makes his way across to here, trying to secure the centre, trying to do all kinds of things, and fires his rocket pistols into this. Oh, this drop marker is gone now, and fires his rocket pistols into this little cluster of Aquilons here, hoping for a big payday. Unfortunately, he ends up dropping them down to low wounds. I believe I killed 1. I believe I killed the the fighter, the pennies, whatever it's called. I believe I killed this one. Okay. Oh, and this trooper, sorry, earlier had moved in and gone on here to stand on that objective. I forgot about that. That's quite important. So I killed him, her, and I dropped the leader and this the gunfighter. I thought I'd killed the gunfighter. But there was another orc here. There's two orcs here, but the leader and the gunfighter, yeah, the leader and the gunfighter both on low wounds. My boss out in the open, but then the boss pops smoke to defend himself from this marksman up here, basically. And then the order of things is a little bit jumbled in my head. I remembered the leader here sort of shooting into this orc that's lurking here. He ends up down on fewer wounds. And then I had the idea of trying to come out and basically I think the leader comes in. That's what happens. The leader comes in and throws a crack grenade and manages to kill the fighter here. I was hoping to come out and try and finish these guys off, but the leader, he heals the leader who's on one wound, so he's no longer injured, using the ploy that they have that does a lot of healing. And he comes in, throws a crack grenade and kills this fighter. So the leader's now there on my objective, natively 3 APL. It's very sad for me. I have my model here. I threw a crack grenade of my own at the grenadier, but didn't kill him. But that did mean I was 3 APL, so I did the chump charge and sort of charged in to try and make myself kind of safe in combat. And then, but I'm on one wound, remember. So the melter gunner comes in, didn't shoot his melter gun all game. He comes in, uses the fact that you can get drop for free as Aquilons. He comes in and kills my orc fighter who's on one wound. Just needs to tap him on the nose to kill him. And I'm left with this fighter in here and my knob. Something unfortunate befell this guy, and I can't remember what it was. I feel like at some point I threw my other crack grenade. I feel like at some point he came out and had some kind of a plan, right, and threw a crack grenade at the gunner. The gunner died, right, but then he himself was finished off by, I think, a grenade from the sentry / and also the sniper who wasn't available, who didn't want to shoot the knob, right? So by the end of turning point 3, I just had a knob sitting on the table by himself, looking quite sad. Yeah. And then, sorry, the knob ended up getting Overwatch and was able to kind of shoot over this piece of terrain, get an obscured shot at these two. This also happened in turning point 3, and killed the grenade fella, right? And I'm pretty sure whatever eventually befell the gunner here had also something to do with Overwatch eventually as well. But going into turning point 4, this was the board state anyway. So in terms of points, you can see that Zimbad's dominating 2 points on the primary. I'm getting nothing on the primary. Zimbad got 2 points on his secondary. I got 1 point in the secondary because my nod's nice and happy there in the centre of the board, within 3 of the centre in his cloud of smoke, having a wonderful time. But obviously you now see which way the game is going. So it became a case of me just wanting to have the most fun that it was possible for me to have. So my knob, it was something akin to that he was gonna he was on low wounds by this point as well, right? So he shot somebody. It may even have been the knob shot in Turning Point 4 that did for this gunner that was here that I can't quite remember. So let's say that Turning Point 4, the knob shot the gunner and then had the idea of charging this melter gunner, right? Thinking, well, if I kill him, I'm on an objective, I'm on the centre line, I've maximised my kill points. I always try and play, to keep the game interesting, even when it's clear my opponent's won, I always try and play as if to say it's a tournament, and I'm trying to maximise score. Unfortunately, I kind of underestimated how many wounds the knob... I overestimated how many wounds the knob had left, and he, in what was a poor set of rolls for me and a splendid set of rolls from the melter gunner, the melter gunner was able to take a hit from the knob, but kill the knob, because I probably shouldn't have made that charge. But the knob died how he would have wanted to die. He died fighting. So then at the end of Turning Point 4, I scored nothing and was tabled. And Zimbad, again, scored the max on the primary, the max on the tackle. I know I haven't really been explaining how he scored confirm kill. You just have to take my word for it that he did score confirm kill. He scored the max on the primary, max on the tackle. He tailed me, so he maxed. And I had in total scored 1 on the primary, 1 on the tack op, and however many. Like I'd killed 1, 2, 3. I'd killed 5. I'd killed half his team, so I was on kill grade 2, I want to say. Not a particularly edifying score for me. I did do really, really badly, actually. Let's not beat around the bush. So that's it. That's the game. That's the recollection of battle. I hope you found that interesting. Let's talk a little bit more now on the final thoughts slide. So, first question is, how do I not lose so terribly at Kill Team? Because I have a couple of problems here. First of all, a lot of commentators online will say to you, like, oh, Aquilons are really easy to beat once you work out how to, like, defeat them. And people talk about mobbing the markers so they can't come down. But that doesn't... And I talked about Zimbad. It's like, what's this tech about? Like, because Zimbad's not a cutthroat guy. If there was some, like, one easy trick to defeating the Aquilons and he understood it, he'd explain it to me. He'd be like, oh, well, what you need to do is this. Like, this is what people are doing. But I don't understand. Like, people are like, oh, you just move in on the marker. But, like, they can come down, not within your control range, but they can come down anywhere within 3 inches of that marker. So you can kind of herd them and shape them into going into another direction. But they have melter guns and melter bombs and all sorts of things. So it was just, I don't know, people say they're not a good team, the Aquilons, but second time I've gone into Zimbad's Aquilons, and it's a really difficult team to play against. I find so, because it's really hard to me to predict where his guys are going to come down and to really pin them down. It's difficult when you're playing Orcs to bring your immense power to bear on a slippery team like this, where everyone's constantly moving and stuff. I think, obviously, if I had the shooting ones painted up, and I into a 7-8 wound team like this, I'd want to take more shooting orcs with blast, because there were some delicious scenarios for blast in that game, and I only had the one blast weapon. They got 2 really good blast shots, so if I'd had more of my rockets, I think that could have been good. But I'd love your feedback on my lack of tactical acumen. Do you enjoy this format? Because I worry. Like, I don't think this is a good video, and I did one video like this before, and a lot of people said they really liked it. And specifically in my live stream last night, like, people were encouraging me, including, a friend of the channel, inspiration of the channel, Glass Half Dead, was like, no, I want to watch that video, so better have watched it, Andy, So if I get enough positive vibes in the comments, I'll do this again. I'll make it a weekly thing, and it'll usually be a kill team. Maybe one day soonish it might be Shatterpoint instead, but I will try and do a weekly recollection of my weekly game, and that'll be the Thursday video. If that's something that people would enjoy, and you can just see how I've never beaten Zimbad. No, once. He played Compendium Crute, and so I won back in the day. I've never beaten Zimbad, so at best I've gotten a draw. So it's going to be a tale of woe and of doom and devastation. But if you enjoy those, then you can by all means let me know. If you think it's rubbish and you would rather have had, you know, the other video that I could have done, which I don't want to tell you what the other video I could have done was, because I'm probably going to do that video tomorrow. But, you know, if you'd rather have had, I'd just say it would have been a shower. Would you rather have had a shower thoughts video about speculating about what the rules for something might be? Would that have been more fun than this? I don't know. It's not really an either or, though, is it? Because you're going to get that video next. But let me know. Please do all the YouTube pleasantries, the subscription, the comments, the likes, and things of that nature. That's all really helpful. If you've watched this far, like, I think this is rubbish. So if you like this and you're not subscribed, subscribe. You might be surprised that you're not subscribed. A lot of people watch the same channel over and over and over again, and they end up because it's on the homepage all the time, but they never press subscribe. The way the algorithm works, you don't really need to subscribe to your favourite channels to be notified when they release a new video. The algorithm will just push their stuff to you if you watch it, because that's what YouTube wants. It wants you to watch stuff. But the subscription, it's for me, not you. You're doing it to encourage me to make the number get larger and make me happy. So do consider that. And then I want to say, just before I go, thank you to all of my members. So those are the rare gems of people who actually pay me every month to make this. I make about 100 quid in a month from YouTube, and most of that is just from the people who have YouTube channel memberships. So thank you so much. I really appreciate that. But especially to Nightfall and Sam Troth, who make up the lion's share of that, and therefore they get a shout out every single video for as long as they remain on that top executive headquarters tier of membership. Thank you so much. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again next time. Bye bye. Bye bye. Cheery bye. Bye bye bye.